So I talked about this time and time again, and to be totally honest, I will express my total feelings here that the Irish state has committed treason in a way, has betrayed, I suppose, whatever word you would use, treason or betrayed. Majority of the young people of this country, Irish people, we see droves of young Irish people leaving for Australia, for New Zealand, and even our own that's here at the moment. Young people like myself and the Tretties have the whole lives ahead of them, the whole future of the next generation of this country. Are left to what? With no housing, etc., living in their basements, living on couches. It's a disgrace. It really, really is. And we see this government give themselves big bonuses, look after themselves, look after the cronies in the vulture funds, the multinationals, the European Union, the World Economic Forum, etc. They're all looking after them. They're all well been looked after. And of course, people coming in from Timbuktu too have been looked after. But the only Irish person's left to be abandoned, and I see this every day of the week, that they're left on the side of the road. And there's so many young people too. They're trying to get into college, say for example. They're trying to make ends meet, and they're trying to pay for their college. They're trying to get a part-time job. They're trying to get a place to rent. They're trying to raise a family. They simply can't do it, and it's just insane. What the Irish government don't do. It's simple as that. They help them. They help everybody else, but they won't help an Irish person. That's the simple fact, and if that's far right and racist, so be it. But even just speaking about the mental health angle, I can't tell you the amount of young people that are struggling with their mental health and they're desperately looking for help from the mental health services in this country, and they've been basically told to fuck off and to go away. And that's basically what's happening. And we see this time and time again across our country, particularly so many young teenagers at the moment. They can't get help, they can't get any kind of guidance, they can't get anything at all. And that's not even to mention about young people too with disabilities, etc. They've been left to what? The same as everything else in this country. And it's a sad disgrace. And we see just the hopelessness of a lot of young people too. And I've talked about this before, but particularly in jobs and stuff like that, they simply can't get jobs nowadays. Simply nobody can give. They can't get any good jobs nowadays to pay the bills, etc. It's all basically cheap labour now for them. Um, but the government has committed treason, and not even to young people. This is old people alike too. We see old people being thrown into nursing homes and being abused, and basically been extorted for money. And we see this across the Irish state too. People in the 90s been left on trolleys in hospitals. Left to what? Let's be fair. Let's call it what it is. We have to be honest with ourselves that this government is a treason, and this government has betrayed the whole people of this country, has betrayed the whole history of this country, betrayed everything basically, has sold us out for money, for nothing basically, not even money, for nothing, just for nothing to the European Union, time and time again. And it has to stop. It really, really does has to stop because we won't. The next generation of young Irish people won't have anything. Whatever about the moment young people don't have anything, they might get something small, something here and there. But let's be fair, the next generation won't have anything if we don't stand up and we don't be counted. And it's up to us as young people in our twenties and even in our teens and stuff. It's up to us to stand up because it takes guts. It takes hardship to stand up, but you have to stand up, and I say that to people, you have to stand up, be counted, and to hell into Connacht with your jobs and stuff like that. It's like I couldn't care less to be told about my job. To be told I'm gone in a few months. I'm gone in a month or two time. But what I'm saying is, I chose my speech over my money. And that's what people needs to do, and I say that to people because this state relies on fear and relies on people's livelihoods to be threatened and stuff by speaking out, etc. That's the whole idea. It's about fear of the state, and it shouldn't be. There should be fear of the people, not fear of the state. And that's what we need to get back to in this country. The politicians fear the people, not fear. Not we shouldn't fear them. They should fear the people because the people at the end of the day have the ultimate power, and and that's the way it should be in this country. But the things have to change. It really, really does because it is literally treasonous what's happening in this country at the moment. What we see around us, what's happening, it's absolutely treasonous. There's no other word. It's absolutely betrayal too. There's other words you could use, but it literally is, and we have to acknowledge the fact in that because it's simply not right what is happening in this country around the clock. It's just simply not. It shouldn't be tolerated. It should never be tolerated. And it's just simply evil, and that's just the definition of the whole lot of it. It's evil. That's what the agenda they have. It's evil, and it's just a total evil agenda. It's a total eradication of our history, our culture, everything that associates with Ireland. They want to get rid of. They want to have a blank slate. They want to have nothing left. And we see this across the board in the HSE. We see this literally nobody can get appointments. People have been left to what? We see this in the criminal justice system. People are getting off for murders. People are getting off for killing people, and it's people getting off with fully suspended sentences is evil, evil. And then if you're struggling to pay the bills and you have to rob a bit of bread out of the shop, you get sentenced nearly to prison for the rest of your life. And if you don't pay your TV license, God bless us and save us, you're in trouble. But this is the thing. This country is rotten to the core. Like, let's be fair. We have to start calling a spade, and it's treasonous what this government has done. And there's no other definition of it, because that's literally the definition of it. Literally what they have done to the own people. Everything, every part of this society is in tatters. Every part of it. Literally, there's no part standing apart from them paychecks, the government paychecks for them politicians and NGOs. They're the only thing that seems to be working in this country. But every other aspect of this society is totally just in shambles, and it is in shambles, and there's no other way of putting it. But yeah, let me know what you think, because it's just it's evil. It really, really is, and it's up to us. And I say this to people, not to be afraid to speak out. For too long, I sat down and said nothing in a lot of aspects, but we have to call it what it is, and to hell and to Connacht. As long as you have enough to do you, what does it matter? But what I'm trying to say, we owe it to the next generation, not ourselves. I'm in my 30s now, having the hope of ever doing it, like succeeding in anything now in life, but especially with my opinions, etc. But I hold them opinions dearly. But that's the thing. The state relies on fear, as I say. But yeah, but the only thing is to speak up and to be counted. But anyway, let me know what you think. Subscribe for more, and bye.